Hey y'all, Cameron Carlson here with Birdies, Bogeys, and White Claws. I own the M7 Motocaddy, the remote control golf caddy, and I know some of you do as well. And some of you may have had the issue of the control board going out. The instructions they send you are actually pretty decent, but I wanted to make a video to make sure that you can actually see the process if you're actually looking at this going, where do I start? So the first thing you need to do is turn over the Motocaddy. Now, once the Motocaddy's been turned over, you have 10 screws you have to remove from the underside. You can see them here. The one over there, the second one, the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 right here. So there's all the way around the sides here. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab a drill or a screwdriver and go ahead and unscrew those and take the covering off. Now that you've got the cover removed, you can see here's your old control board right here with all the wires coming out of it. Now, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and remove that screw here, one here, and one there. Then this whole section should roll up. Now here's the fun part. You'll see you've got a blue and you've got what appears to be a gray cord. Now, underneath this, you have the connections you can see right here, as well as over there, right underneath my thumb, okay? Those connections you have to disconnect before you remove that whole thing, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. So I was wrong, there was 4 connections. There's one, a blue, this black one that's right here, the gray one, which was right here, this one right here, and then another black one that comes off the actual box, which is right there. So you need 4 connections, and then that will come out. So you just need to lift that whole thing off, being careful not to screw up the wires, but you have to disconnect those 4 connections first. Now this control box should be by itself. Now, all we're going to do is lift up the box. I know I just said that you should just be able to lift up the box from here. However, if you look here, there are 2 screws that go here, one there, and one here, that have to be removed before you can lift up this box. Once you have that done, then you should just be able to lift up the box after I now remove another 2 screws, here and here, which is what holds those connections in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And of course, I'm going to lose all the stuff I need. What a surprise. And now, that box should lift free. I'm really trying not to lose that washer. There we go. And now, that box should just come out, just like that. Okay, moving on to the next step. Okay, so there were actually 2 more connections. One you can see right here that actually goes to the back of it, so that black wire is underneath it. Then there are 2 more screws down in here, 1 and 2, which is actually what that section of plug that right there goes into. All right, so there's a lot of screws in here that you're gonna need to remove. So you've got the first 4 connections that are in there, plus you've got the ones that hold everything together, like all the wires in place, which is down here. Then you've got the 2 screws there and all the connections underneath it. So that's your connections, and now we're going to put the other one back in. This is the new control box, and as you can see, everything's pretty much color-coded. These wires only go in certain ways. So when you put this in, you're going to put it in just like that, okay? I'm sorry, just like this. And then you're going to start putting the wires in after you screwed this thing in. My recommendation is put the wires in first, then screw the control box down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So the first 2 wires I connected were that little box down there. So make sure you don't lose those screws that are there. And then the other one I connected was this wire that runs from the control box down to there. Okay? So this one right here. Those are the 2 I connected first, because what's going to happen is we're going to put this box in basically face down, or wires coming out the back, and then that over there, that the axle is going to go on top of that, and they're going to connect everything that way. So those are the 2 connections I did first, and now we'll go ahead and put the axle back in. Now, as you can see, all the axle's been put on, the cords have been connected. Remember, they only go one way. Blue to blue, gray to gray, black to black, and there are these dots that you can see right here on the cords. You're going to see another, I'll show you. If you unscrew that, you'll see that there's another dot right there. So there's only one way these go. So the dots line up, you slide that up, you screw it on, and you're good to go. So once you have all these screwed back in, you just kind of have to finagle the wires so they fit and they're not, in the way of anything. So this is actually pretty nicely set up. It's down there. I've got it running underneath the axle. And then you got the 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 2 screws that are holding in the control box here and here. And now we're going to take and we're going to put the top back on it, and we should be good to go. So we're going to go to that now. And now, of course, we find out that the most difficult part is actually making sure that all these holes line up, and then screwing the cover back on. But everything seems to be flush. Good to go. I'm sure I'll find something problematic later, but for now, seems all good. So I'm going to go downstairs, get the battery, and see if it lights up. So, if we've done it right, we should be able to connect the battery if I can get the battery in. There we go. And then we should be able to see the screen light up. There we go. And she works. Look at that. Hope this helped. I know it helped me trying to go through all the process, but sometimes it is a pain in the butt. But it did work, and glad I did it. So that's all I got. This is Cam Carlson with Birdie's Bogeys and White Claws. See you later.